Hello everyone, it's GigaBeef here, and today I have some Tarkov training exercises to share with you that I believe if you do them 2 or 3 times before you play, you will improve your skills faster and allow you to be more effective in game. Recently I've been thinking a lot about PvP skills, and by this I mean the player behind the PMC, aka you, and how ordinary players shortcut the learning process to become better faster. So basically I have a challenge for you. I've spent some time developing routes around factory in offline mode to work in important game elements for practice, which we'll run through in a minute. Offline mode is great and I've recommended it a lot in the past, but running around aimlessly killing scavs doesn't necessarily teach you anything specific, so what I've been doing is setting up circuits around the map to force you to do certain things. I'll show you the route in more detail shortly, but the idea is that you start out by shooting this light right here in front of gate 0, which is when the timer starts, and navigate through the map hitting various lights, opening doors and making jumps to exit out of gate 3 as fast as possible. My best time so far was 1 minute and 29 seconds, so if you give it a go then let me know how you get on. The catalyst for all this was an odd little encounter in factory the other day, and this got me thinking about the deliberate practice of certain elements of the game, which in my opinion has always been the best way to improve at, well, really anything. You can play and play, and although you might get better over time, without trying to improve at specific things and kind of working at it at least a little bit, it's easy to stay in the same skill bracket and never feel like you're improving. However, what's hard about EFT is that combat situations can be relatively few and far between, with many players spending time looting instead to make money, which is fair enough. So when you do end up in a combat situation, it's either a bit of a surprise or you're not really ready and lacking in experience too. The things to improve on will be different from player to player, but I wrote down a few items that came to mind, most of which are applicable to my own play. Right hand peeking, specifically peeking too far around corners and exposing too much of my player, utilising the strafe keys to reduce inertia by letting go of strafe before moving the other way, which is quicker, point firing in general, and counting bullets under pressure. Other elements you could work on are jumping and movement, interacting with the environment whilst on the move, such as opening doors, getting headshots, and broadly improving aim. Factory is the perfect map for this because firstly, it's very small, it's hectic, it puts you under pressure, secondly, there are lights around the map to destroy, so you get very obvious feedback whether you hit them or not. Also, if you want to record your gameplay and watch it back, which I do recommend actually, Factory is the least taxing on your system anyway, and because of how it encodes, it also makes small video files as well. You can do this with any weapons that you want to practice with. I've been using pistols to get better at single tapping headshots and that kind of thing, but you could use an SMG, a shotgun, rifle, or even a bolty if you wanted to. I would advise wearing your regular gear with the same debuffs so that you have the same turn and move speed as in your real raids, as you will develop some muscle memory for these kits. The Gazelle and the ULAC is normally my go-to at this point in the wipe. From here you can do the challenge route cleanly in offline mode as a speedrun with no scavs and have it be consistent every time. This allows you to navigate to the starting point outside gate 0, which makes a timed run more plausible. When you're ready or just want to try it out in a much more realistic way, then move on to the real deal, which is run through those same routes with scav horde mode on. Having the scavs there injects a healthy level of randomness into the practice, which is really good for adjusting on the fly, forcing you to make mistakes and being more player-like than the static targets of the regular route. Unfortunately, as you can't pick your spawn point at gate 0 with scavs on without having to fight your way there first, I'm using the no scav version as the timed route just for ease. But with scavs on, there are a variety of routes that I've been using from each spawn that links back up with the original and allows you to complete the circuit. As for the settings, I use as online for the difficulty and just increase the scav numbers to horde because I want the scavs to feel like they do in a real raid, how long they give you before they shoot, how they respond to seeing you and getting shot at, that kind of thing. So to start off this run, we're going to go into gate 0, which is in here, and this is the exit with the locked door just there. And we have the red light here. And what I'm going to do is position my PMC right in this corner and shoot the light out and use this frame of the shot being taken to actually start the timer. Now, the thing about this is that you can do it however which way you think is going to best benefit yourself. So for me, I'm trying to work on lean peaks and not lean out too far. So if you want to shoot through that doorway here, not leaning out like this because I'm still exposed and people can shoot me in the thorax really easily, and just making it so that it's just like here. So rather than it being a perfect speed run, so to speak, where I'm doing everything possible to try to get the best time, I'm trying to incorporate the elements that I want to improve in when I'm doing it. So first off, you'll shoot this. run to this door, and this is what I've been doing. So opening the door and leaning around to shoot this light, running down into this section, leaning here, shooting this light, down into the next one, left-hand peek because you can just see this light, run up to here and shoot out this light there, down to here, and behind this pillar you can see this next light there, which you can shoot. Now there's nothing to really do at this point, so usually this is when I reload. And then we'll run through this section, past these. You can decide to peek down some of these corridors if you want to, if you feel it's going to benefit you. Peek around this corner, shoot this light. Run up here and shoot this light. Straight across. And then usually I point fire this guy to try and improve that a little bit, because I'm not very good at point fire. Leaning around this staircase and shoot out this light. All the way up into the office corridor. I'm going to lean around here, I'm going to take out this light and the light all the way down the end. Now what we'll do is open this door on the move, open this door on the move. You can peek right if you want to, but as part of this I'm not going to. Shoot out this one down the stairs and that one. You see I missed that. Surprisingly difficult how hard this is to do, you'd be surprised. Give it a go. Point fire this light, reload here, do the jump across to this, and then all the way along, straight over here if you're able to. Open the door and shoot out all the remaining lights inside gate 3. So there's one there, one there, one there, oops, one there, and one there. You can see why I need to do the training route myself. That's exactly what it was designed for. And then out of gate 3, and basically as soon as the timer starts ticking up in that top right hand corner, that's when I'm going to stop the clock and say, right, route complete, and we're done. Now, as I said, if you're playing with scavs on, you won't be able to pick your spawn point, so you just kind of have to start from where you're starting, especially if you put horde mode on, because there are a lot of scavs, and it does make it pretty fun, and it is engaging and quite interesting, but you'll start in a random place. So the other routes that I try to link up to this main route, if you start underground, we run through to the stairs in the bunker, we shoot out the light, and we move up. If we start at 1984, we can shoot the lights out on the front wall to the left and then move down into the tunnel and carry on and link up back to the original route as well. From forklifts, it's a little bit further away, so I like heading into the tunnels, shooting the lights out on both sides of the corridor before linking up with the staircase in the bunker again. At gate 3 and Skybridge, I tend to move in front of Skybridge, shoot out the light above the door and move across and down into the bunker, fire at the light opposite and then link up with the regular route again. It doesn't really matter which route you choose, but the fact that we have lights to break means that we have specific things that we need to do, and the number of mistakes that I make trying to do this is honestly eye-opening, even with no scavs on the map. Reloading magazines when I need to open the doors in the factory corridor, using painkillers at the wrong time when I'm playing against the scavs, aiming in the wrong place so I'm not ready to shoot as I come up the stairs, running out of bullets because I was under pressure and forgot how many I'd shot so far, and even just missing the jumps. A few things for me that at least have been super key is the awareness of how bad my point fire actually is, because I've been using lasers as a crutch for a long time, and so I'm looking to get better at that. Also, I've been meaning to change my hotkey for painkillers for a while, but never got around to it because I had it awkwardly bound across the other side of the keyboard because I was normally using it for SJ6 right at the start of a raid, and sometimes this means that I even end up looking at the keyboard around the microphone, which is really not good. So this is also a perfect place to rebind combat keys and then use them in a way that starts to rebuild that muscle memory without having to waste time in real raids messing it up and dying. The runs take around 1 to 2 minutes depending on where you start, and I can already see an improvement in my gameplay after spending a few days working out these routes. There's definitely an argument to run through even just 1 or 2 times before playing, as it really helps to get your eye back in and get the juices flowing for FPS. So as usual, a big shout out to all my patrons who help keep the channel improving. You guys really are awesome, so thank you again. If you learned something, please consider dropping a like or a comment on the video. To see when I'm streaming, you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Check out our Scav Talk podcast in the links below. And with all that said, I'll see you next time, and as always, have fun in your raids.